What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Masters of the Retroverse, and we have got a extremely special guest here with us. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. His name is MOTU Joe.
What's up, fellas? How's everybody doing?
Man, great.
What's up?
And from what I hear, this guy is the walking encyclopedia when it comes to the Masters of the Masters of the Universe stuff.
Yes,
and
of our show.
Yeah, of our show. I'm so used to saying Retroverse that I always slip it up. So you'll probably hear me do that a few times tonight, but whatever, it's fine. You get my drift.
I'm all good, man. I'm along for the ride.
Hell yeah, well, good deal. Let's kick this thing off, David. I'll let you kind of talk about what you got to talk about here. I know we're a little bit limited on time. I know that Joe's a little bit of a time crunch here, so we're going to try to squeeze as much information out of him as we can in 45 minutes.
For sure. Oh, you sure? That's the other Joe. I love you. I love you, Adam. That's the other Joe.
Hey,
this is the Joe. There's so many Joes.
There are a lot of Joes. All of a sudden, it's not all of a sudden. It's a common name, but it always seemed everywhere I went, I was the only Joe. And now in the MOTU collection, there are in just our small little world. There's 6 or 7 Joes now. You know, Joe Ring, Joe Turner, Joey Padina, MOTU Joe, and then there's other Joes I'm forgetting quickly, and it's just quick top of mind. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane how many freaking Joes there are. And
Joe, you know, whatever.
Oh yeah, and I'm not. I know this is all MOTU, but I do have an affinity for GI Joe as well. But we'll keep it MOTU focused today because that's what it all is, right?
Man, that is I gotta say, for anybody watching on the YouTube that can see this, he has an amazing collection right behind him, and I'm sure it's probably just a fraction of what he actually has. That's some cool stuff, man. You've got some amazing stuff there. I've just been sitting here looking at all the puzzles you got there, the mask, the Man-at-Arms mask above you there.
Oh yeah, that's one of the newer acquisitions. It used to, I don't know if it's hard to see. There is the record player, and that's where he's supposed to go, is behind there. I just haven't reorganized it yet.
He's got all the masks there, David. Look at that. He's got the He-Man.
These are
oh my god.
These ones are the Euro released ones. These ones are the European packaging, and then
the smaller ones.
No, these ones, the ones that have actually the artwork is much better on them, in my opinion. I know that's not what we're here to really talk about these, but this is
we're good.
This is the packaging is just completely different, and I like the packaging. The Beast Man is actually even a different costume, but this is the European release, and then this is the even though the blister's broken, I had to get it because inside the costume's still in the sealed bag.
Oh wow, man!
So this is the Ben Cooper stuff that we're used to here in the States. And then there's even this box here, which is another version of it, which is like a rainbow colored box that was done in the U.S. That was like the second series of costumes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's freaking awesome, man. Yeah. So I think, without even knowing it, I stole some of your pictures off Google.
Maybe.
Like I Googled, I was like Googling He-Man costumes or whatever when we were talking about our Halloween episode. And like, I think I got, like, it's like after I hit you up, after I joined that group and I asked you to be my friend or whatever. Yeah, whatever. But fucking, I think I saw one of the same pictures that I pulled from your Facebook thing. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? From Retro Rags. I stole your picture. My bad. If I owe you monetary reasons for using your picture,
no, we're not there yet. No, not even close. And I work. My real job is I work in marketing and advertising, so I'm licensed trademarks and all that stuff. I'm cognizant of, but it's a pretty liberal thing. There's certain things that they get sticky on, but you guys use whatever the hell you want, man. I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran across. It changes the subject a little bit, but like I own a snowboarding company, and I reached out to Velvet Hammer to use a song from before they even became big. I can't even remember the name of deal. And he's like, hey, well, how much money do you have for the use of this song? And I was like, I'm using the song. I don't want I don't want rights to it. I just want to be able to use it in my video that is free. I was like, I'll give you $300 for you to let me use the song. He's like, I'll take it to the band, but that's kind of cheap. I was like, oh yeah, the Night Owls or whatever. They were like not even or Night Riots. You ever heard of them?
No.
It's alternative music, but yeah. So that was my ordeal with like copyright infringement and shit like that because of YouTube, and I didn't want to take the video down.
It's a pain sometimes.
Yeah, they want to take $300 for a video of my guy snowboarding. Yeah, copyright
libraries. Music libraries are cheap. You can go download it, and you can get stuff for the dollars in some cases because artists are just like, I want my shit out there. I want people to hear it.
Yeah. So, man, just to like hit it off, like, could you just tell us a little bit about like yourself, like, you know, what you do and like where you came from, what brought you to be at the stature of collecting the Masters of the Universe stuff that you have?
I've always kind of, I guess, collected. It started with garage selling with my grandfather, and there was a certain level of, we weren't poor by any means. We were, you know, your standard blue collar family, so we had okay by all accounts. But we didn't splurge. So finding little things and collecting and doing that is kind of garage selling is where it started, I guess. Collected pennants. My grandparents traveled the world. And then in college is where the toys really, really kind of kicked in, because I only have a couple, very, very, very few things from when I was a kid, because we moved, sold a lot of stuff. Ironically, I think the most precious thing I remember from my childhood that I actually still have is my Nintendo. Still with the
that's awesome.
The original bags, hermetically sealed, the instructions, everything. Like, it was my baby. But we sold almost everything else. So in college, fast forward now, I played football in college, and I was an RA. I wound up getting insomnia, so I didn't have to pay for school, and I was working, so I had a lot of extra cash kind of coming in, and I kind of started buying a toy here or there. And by the time I graduated in 2000, I had one of those little bookshelves, you know, maybe, you know, the 4-footers, 3 shelves or something like that. And it was pretty much full of just randomness and nothing, you know. 2000X line hadn't come out yet. I was really, really, really hardcore into Dragon Ball Z at the time, and I still am. I have a huge, at one point, what this looks like behind me was all Dragon Ball Z, and I still have all of it. But I transitioned in 2000X. That's what made it switch over for me into He-Man again, and bringing back that whole passion that I had for it as a kid, because I played with my He-Man toys a ton. And he just, you know, I mixed them. I didn't have a lot of any one particular line, so I always mixed them. And that's where the passion kind of came back from, is those toy lines. He-Man, Mask, a little bit of G.I. Joe. Those were what kind of rekindled the 80s or the retro side of things for me. And fortunately, I was able to get in on the Matty collector. Like, I had just missed the first couple by the time I saw it and heard of it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I signed up, and I went on the whole, which is behind you guys. This whole wall in front of me is all 200 and something whatever Matty collector figures that, you know, I think I'm missing 4, something like that. So
wow.
Holy yeah. Yeah, it's cool. You know, a lot of people in the groups love the vintage. I am, you know, myself and Brian Oldman are fanatical about everything. You know, a lot of guys are just vintage, or they're just the Matty. If it's got that original, or, you know, the classic logo on it, or the original vintage logo on it, I gotta have it. So it doesn't matter if it's 2000X, if it's 90, if it's, the only thing I don't care for is the New Adventures of He-Man, that particular line. But they were smart about it for packaging with the Matty Collector series, because they put the right logo on it, and I bought them.
Yeah.
That's simple.
So the classic line is, I like the classic line. I'm getting some feedback here.
Is my signal okay?
Yeah, I think it's me. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's done now. So like I'm not gonna lie, I like the classic line too, even though it's a newer deal. The 2000X stuff really didn't resonate with me. I think that's the way to put it. They took the characters to a like way extreme realm. Some people like it, it's an opinion based thing, but
Sure.
some people like it. Like so, some people can see the same thing about me with the new Voltron because I really like the new Voltron, and a lot of people from our time frame that saw the old Voltron don't like it, and I'm like, you're crazy, man. It's a great storyline.
Yeah.
The new lines are awesome. Like, so when you go vintage, like you take a vintage show and you're trying to rebuild it or whatever, Netflix I think did a good job with Voltron.
They did a really good job with Voltron. And see, like, it's not to debate, but I love the storyline of the 2000X.
I haven't seen it yet. Like,
okay, so that may, again, I'm not trying to sway you, but that may legitimately make you do a 180. The toys are just okay. I'll concede the toys are just okay. But that cartoon, in my opinion, is astounding. You get to see the histories, whether or not it's the original Mattel's conception of how these characters developed or not. You get to see how Stinkor became Stinkor. You got to see how what's his name, Tuvar and Badra became Too Bad. You got to see how all of these people came to be. You got to see how Keldor went from Keldor battling with Randor in this epic battle where he gets his face burned off and becomes Skeletor. You get to see all of these things.
So they built a lot more origin stories into it, is what you're saying. So
it's and some of it, they always have the little cheesy and this is why blah 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 at the end, which is cool to keep with the nostalgia side of it. But
they gotta have the PSA. It's He-Man.
Yeah, I mean that if there is one episode just for fandom purpose, you got to look up is it's the King Grayskull episode. So you actually get to see the origin of Grayskull and Hordak and a little bit of that. And
yeah, the Horde is like I'm really interested in the Horde because I don't remember the Horde from the 80s as much as I do. Maybe it's because like in the later 80s I kind of like shifted to Thundercats.
Yeah.
So, I didn't really pay attention to the Hordak and all that stuff, and not to knock the classic because I love the classic like anybody else. Like it's in our groups, I love the classic. The way that the companies like looked upon violence and stuff like that, like Thundercats is a little bit more violent than He-Man in my eyes. You know what I mean?
Oh, it could. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some darker stuff that was with Mum-Ra and, the evil side of things that they were doing and, the ever living. There was some stuff there, but, you're talking in some crazy, like, they were going after He-Man. They were going, I mean, originally, Jitsu is Chopper. And they didn't have him because of the Asian slant of his eyes. They're like, you just have to. He made like 2 appearances or 1 appearance or something like that. They just were. There was a lot of PC correctness happening then. So yeah, it's. I don't know. It's definitely polarizing. You see the stuff nowadays versus back then. That stuff back then is so soft compared to what we see now.
Yeah, there was. I watched a video. It had Lou. How do you say his last name?
Shemmer.
Shemmer? Yeah. Shemmer, yeah. Lou Shemmer from Film Nation. Yeah. It had him in there and it talked about it. It was like a 30-minute show or whatever. I Googled it on YouTube and I watched it, like the creation of He-Man and all this stuff. And like they were looking for like, I don't know. You've probably seen it, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen a lot of things. I don't know which one exactly you're referring to though.
It's like a 30-minute video on like the creation of He-Man, and it talks about like the scandal between Conan and He-Man and all that. It goes into all of that, but it really was covering the part of like how in the early 80s they were trying to not have it go on the air because they thought that he was barbaric and all this stuff and it was going to be very violent, and they hired the one guy. I don't know his name. You're probably better with names than me, but they hired the one guy to make sure that there was always a moral behind every story of He-Man. and like that's how he ended the story. Like, you know, they're all sitting against the wall or whatever, you know, Man at Arms or Prince Adam, and they tell you the moral of the story. Like,
right. Yeah.
He did this today, and she would have been in grave danger if she wouldn't have done this. Like,
yeah. There's some really good books that are out there that cover a lot of that story. This book is awesome in the development of the toy.
The Power and Honor of the Foundation.
Yeah, the Power and Honor Foundation. This is it was a limited run. I actually missed it when it first came out, so I paid through the nose to get it later. But there's stuff in here that was never produced, artist photos, things like that, and it talks a little bit about some of the drama you're talking about. But then, if you really want to go crazy, this guy here, you can find this. It's not cheap anymore because it caused some controversy, but this is the other guy's side of the story. And I get the names mixed up too. Roger Sweet. So Roger Sweet claims he created He-Man utilizing Big Jim or something like that, and molding the parts and figuring this whole thing out and over-masculating him. And then the other guy, who is, I guess, I don't want to say more respected, but it seems like more people tend to side with his origins story. And I truthfully, I don't think we're ever going to really know. It's a debate that honestly I don't care too much about. I think it's kind of fun in one sense, but in another sense, I mean, literally it's called He-Man, the rise and fall of $1 billion idea. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And I got to go to PowerCon this year, and sitting right behind me is the vice president of marketing and advertising for the entire Mattel, the whole entire campaigns, talking about flying back and forth and negotiating this and that. And it was just really surreal to hear that. And the reason why they were in there was because there's a documentary coming out. Many people have seen it or know about it. It's from Definitive Films, the same people that did the TMNT entire documentary.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
These guys are coming out, and it's the Power of Grayskull, the definitive history of Masters of the Universe, I think is what the full title is. In that, I'm sitting there watching this for the first time ever. No one's ever got to see this. It's screening at PowerCon, and he's sitting right behind me as he's on the camera, and he's talking about all this stuff, and it was just really kind of surreal. And when you see this, when you actually get to see this DVD, you get to hear some of this, a little bit of this stuff, and then you actually get to see Lou Scheimer's daughter, who was actually involved with the filmation and talks about the voices and some of the things that she did. And it's you guys are really going to like that documentary when it finally gets released. Only people at PowerCon got to see it, and it's you guys will really like it. It's really cool.
Okay, so is that what you're talking about, the Masters of the Universe film?
Yeah,
like,
that's the documentary. The film, the movie,
yeah. We went over because McG was originally signed to write it, and then he was pulled from it, or he pulled himself from it. And who do they have on it now?
I don't know. I don't know who was on it currently, because okay, not to digress too much, but this whole film thing for me with the Masters is I'm not holding my breath. I wholeheartedly believe it's going to happen. I don't have that issue and doubt that but I'm kind of keeping deaf and dumb to it. I don't want to be overexcited and then get let down. I just kind of want to, all right, cool. If they wind up saying 2022, fine, whatever. This 2019, if I get myself all amped up, I'm going to be crazy for the next year and a half. So I've kind of been pretty in a shell, but I'm super excited for it. I'm actually curious to know what you know about it.
So, like, honestly, that's all I really know about it. It was like, we did a show, I want to say it was because Adam used to run the show with another person, and we met through 7 Days to Die, and then we just clicked. So me and Adam, and we've been doing this show now, and I think this is maybe my 10th or 11th show, or maybe even more than that. But we went over He-Man. We talked about the McG aspect, and then I can't remember the name. He had the first script got handed. It just seems to be just like the first one. It's cursed. Like,
oh, yeah, it could be, but again, you never know, you know. And I have, you know, that's, I know we're talking about the new movie, but I have to go back, and I recommend you do it too. Watch the old one again. And what I'd say is I didn't like the original movie. I thought it was okay, you know, at best.
I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
I didn't like it at all. So I think because, well, you know, they only made it, like, they only had enough money to make it to the very last scene where He-Man, Dolph Lundgren, and Skeletor freaking their swords hit, right? And the lightning goes. They ran out of money at that scene right there. They talk about it because I watched the documentary on that film. And the only reason Gwildor is even part of that thing is because it was not economically possible for them to make Orko. That's the only reason.
Well, they didn't have the technology, and they were supposed to have Cringer too. So again, at PowerCon this year, they had the movie cast there, and except for Dolph and Courtney Cox, those two weren't there. But you know, you had Blade, you had Evil Lynn, Frank Langella wasn't there. You had Gary Gagard, the director, was there, and he was really transparent. The art director, oh shit, what's his name? Oh man, he is so freaking cool, and I can't think of it right now. All these guys are here, and they're talking about all these little secrets and little things and all the stuff that you're mentioning right now. Like Cringer was supposed to be in it, but they just couldn't do it. There was no physical way that the budget would allow it. And what's funny too is that even though the budget was tight, the set that they built for that, they wound up going and basically knocking down another studio wall to take up 2 studios to build this giant freaking set, because it just had never been done quite like that. And it had a lot of people coming in. He talked about how they were in the set super late night or something like that, and they hear somebody walking in the background, and they're like, what's going on? They go and they look, and it's Michael Jackson coming around the corner to see what everyone's been talking about this crazy big set, because they were shooting.
Yeah, I heard about the town. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
There's all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, wow. Yeah. And
so
even,
even what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
I was gonna say, like, just a random fact I didn't know is the Gwildor, right? Apparently, he was constantly 100% joking all the time. He had a different joke every single day. He was never sad, never pissy. The happiest go lucky guy ever. And which is mind blowing to me is he's a munchkin from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
nice.
He's a munchkin. He's a hatchling. I'm like, oh, no way.
Jesus.
So
we got Paul. He put a statement up here. He's talking about Gary Goldard, and he did a good job with what he did. And the main thing he got right was Skeletor wearing a robe. So,
yeah. You know that? Did you guys? I don't know how long you guys have been really diehard with the MOTU, but I'm sure some of the.
All my life, I just didn't know we had groups.
Yeah,
like it's been eye-opening in the past. Freaking don't even understand.
Dude, they had his costume was available within like the last 3 years when I've been going crazy with this stuff. His legitimate what he wore on camera was available, and while I'm nothing in here is worth what or expensive as that is, but I think when I say only, take it with a grain of salt. I want to say it went for $2,800 or $3,200.
Oh my god!
Which, in my mind, is reasonable considering it's Frank Langella. It's truly one of a kind, and each one of those pieces is an actual individually hand carved or molded little piece that they had to make, and then so some of them are duplicates from the original molds, but that they had to repeat. I was just flabbergasted by it because I wound up getting to talk to the set designer. I can't think of his name right now at the con, and he was like, "Oh my god, that was an amazing costume." He's like, "Yeah, I really saw it available." One of the houses that I already put it away. One of the houses that do a lot of the movie props had it, so it was a legit thing. It wasn't like some fly-by-night guy. I was beside myself. It's crazy.
Well, they had a whole bunch of a whole bunch of animators and stuff on that movie, like, and they said it was unheard of to have a company, and it was Northern California owned pretty much a whole town. The whole reason that town, that whole town, was it? Man, I wish we were new. Well, I kind of fucking wrote the show notes. I do know we were going to talk about this, but I wish that I would have done a little bit more digging into pieces of it, and pulled that documentary that I watched, because I watched a documentary on it. Like, I YouTube. So actually, let's see. I don't know, Paul. You want to or Paul? Adam, you want to hit up what Paul is saying, because he might know what we're talking about here. I don't know, but when I have duty.
He says the main problem with the 87 movie was the limited time they had to bash something out. He said, I mean, if you think about it, how would you make it happen if you had a week to make an idea, which is true. He said he talked to Gary Goddard, and he said, I told him a full robe on Skeletor was way better than a hoodie and black undies. He said, I thought so. Nice. That's cool as shit.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's good. It was cool, and getting to see some of those people there for the first time. It was I will say, because I've met them now, and sat through those forums and listened to those conversations, it really has, not quite a 180, but it really has changed my perspective on that movie. And that's why I say, it's worth a second watch. And I would say it's worth a second watch, and this is really hard to do, but don't think about what you know about He-Man and try to watch it. It's
right, because it's not He-Man, it's Masters of the Universe.
Right. It actually can stand. It's so hard to do because I'm a super fan. I don't even like when you see Marvel and DC together. It just wigs me out. So you just got to put it out of your mind. And that movie actually can stand on its own really well if you just watch it for that and not try to associate it with this. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. But it's hard for me not to associate it with
it is hard. It is hard, yeah.
It's near impossible.
We watched it somewhat recently.
Yeah,
my kid, he loved it. I mean, he thought it was awesome. As cheesy as it was, but coming from an 8-year-old, I mean, he's got some background with the Masters of the Universe stuff, like just from me. He has a small collection of his own guys and stuff, but he hasn't really watched a lot of the cartoons, so he doesn't really know the whole story and all that stuff. So for him watching it from his perspective, it's kind of coming in it with fresh eyes. So now he's probably going to be watching the cartoon, asking me questions, comparing it to the movie. Well, this guy's not in the movie,
Right. Right. Complete opposite. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're cool.
I read at the same time, so I'm like trying to do like 30 things at once. This is the first time for me. So honestly, I met you through the group, the 82 to 88, and I know you talked about the retro stuff, but like what really made me interested in like what you do was your retro rags and your designs, your t-shirts and stuff. If you could just go into that a little bit and tell us like how you started that and like
it was retro rag started off as a I didn't want to throw away old t-shirts, and and I actually thank you for giving me this time to explain this, because part of what we do with retro rags isn't just as easy to go to the website and go, oh, okay, it doesn't click. This conversation will click. I didn't want to throw those shirts away. And most guys and girls know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a drawer or a place in your back closet, something where you just can't get rid of that shirt. There's a sentimental attachment to it. So instead of letting it rot or go away, I cut off the meaningful parts. So, I had a shirt that was torn, but the Decepticon, or actually it was a Autobot symbol, but that was the fuzzy Autobot symbol. I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I cut it off. And then next thing I know, I had another shirt go bad. And before too long, I wound up having like 8 shirts that I could cut off meaningful parts. Went to the store, bought a hoodie on clearance, went to this local seamstress and said, hey, can I sew these on? It wasn't cheap, obviously, because I'm doing this piecemeal type of a thing. And I had this cool hoodie. And then I went to some conventions and I would find a patch, like an actual embroidered patch. And then I would add it to it. And, you know, within about 6 months, it was pretty much where it was at and going to be. Yeah. And for probably 6 years, I walked around wherever I went. It was about an 80 to 85% of the time, someone would come up and go, dude, where is that? What is that? Where'd you get that? Or what's going on? And I'm in sales, I'm in marketing and advertising. It finally got to me. Like, I got to do this. I keep getting asked. There's obviously a demand. I need to try to capitalize on this and try to go with it. So that's where I finally came from. I said, I'm not going to let fear or the what ifs, because there are a lot of what ifs when you get into the fashion or clothing industry. The t-shirt side of things is unbelievably competitive. It's anybody can do it, really. And the t-shirts for us, which this is the Master's Weapons, it was a David Cardona design that we now have through Retro Rags that we're able to help and provide for everybody. But this is kind of what started off our custom t-shirt side of things. People had asked me to make them a shirt or do this or that because they had known I was able to do a little bit of basic stuff. But what I do personally in-house won't be silk screened. I go to a professional. I've negotiated good contracts to get it so that way you guys can get the prices. If you really look at it, and I off on a little small tangent, but if you look at what some of the other shops do, it's a digital print. And we're not. A digital print typically won't hold up in the really long runs. Then they also tend to use a little bit thinner quality shirt. That does not every place, so I'm not saying that. Yeah. We wanted to provide the best, the absolute, what we know lasts the longest, and what feels and breathes the best, as opposed to having, you know, either a heat press or something like that. So all of ours are silk screened. Everything is done. And again, this isn't people that, you know, everyone's not going to understand or know that, but to do this type of design with the graphics, the gradient, actually there are almost no gradients. It is
every color is like another screen on a silk screening process.
And now this is, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, right? There are only 8 colors on this shirt, and it doesn't look like that. It's truly an art, the shop that we're utilizing to do this. They can do lifelike silk screens. And in order to do that, you have to have a very good skill set in regards to color match, blending, and doing stuff like that. So that doesn't resonate. And again, a normal customer's not going to give a shit. I'm smart enough to know that will come in time. People understand, like, dude, that's not a digital print. They do everything by hand. Everything is silk screened. Everything is like as best as they can possibly do now. And we'll continue to get better and provide even better quality stuff as we grow. But the hoodies, that one hoodie is kind of what started it all. And I wound up going and getting, bear 1 second here. I got some right here. I don't, they're in the other room. Sorry. I found a way to get vintage patches. So I got hundreds. We have right at 200 vintage patches in supply.
I'm looking at those on your website. The Masters of the Universe ones are amazing.
Yes, those are original vintage from the 80s. They're actually, this is a beat up, nasty, dirty baseball cap, right? That patch is the exact patch that I have. And it's ironically is the patches that I have with, I would say probably 90%, maybe 80% certainty actually came from this hat company, because the vendor that I got all these patches from got it from a hat company that went defunct. So the likelihood of this hat being from the original manufacturer, and now I have the patches from the original manufacturer, it is a potential. And I have a lot of them, and we can customize those patches on virtually anything. So while it started off as hoodies, that was for people that if they didn't have old t-shirts, they could say, well, I want to do this. And they can go on our website now and they can click and drag and build their hoodie and see a finished product with our vintage patches and know exactly what they're getting. Call, you know, the Amazon style. See what I get, buy it, click, boom, done. They can do that. Now, For the personalized stuff, the really, really cool stuff, your own items where you would send, that's where it's an email. We're going to talk because I'm smart enough to know this, guys, and I know people will see this podcast. I am not a Dolce Gabbana. I am not an Ed Hardy, okay? I don't have the brand equity yet for people to want to create a profile, take pictures of their garments, crop the pictures, upload that's 17 hoops. You know, when I'm Ed Hardy, you'll jump through 17 hoops to get an Ed Hardy hoodie. I'm Joe Teague, Retro Joe, right? Not yet, but someday. So you had to keep it simple. And for right now, I'm sincere in this. Every single hoodie that is customized with an old t-shirt, you can send in your garments to us. When you buy a hoodie from us, if you select the all on me option type of thing, that can be done. We send you a little baggie, you throw the stuff in there, you send it back, and we build it for you. All the steps are in there to do that, but it does take communication. That's the one thing that you're going to talk to me, I'm going to talk to you, and I will literally hand build that hoodie for you with your garments, my own garments, or, oh my God, I almost forgot. The newest thing, not the newest thing, but one of the newest things that we do is we offer sublimation printing as well.
I was just going to ask if you did sublimation because of all the colors.
We do. And the interesting thing with sublimation printing, though, for those that don't know, is you have to use white. Everything that you see sublimation printed, with virtually no exception, was done on white fabric because of the way the ink has to heat up and the pigments go into the fabric. So
yeah, the ink turns into a gas, and the gas gets absorbed into the garment. And
correct.
In turn, turning that because that's how I make snowboard bases.
Correct. So everything has that base white factored in. So when I see something that I'm printing in solid black, it looks a little opaque, but it's because it knows it doesn't have the white yet. And as soon as I zap it onto the fabric, bright black. So what we can do is, and so you talk about your snowboard, right? Say you had a wicked Burton shirt from back in the day that it's gone. Like, they don't make it. I can't find it, but I've got an HD picture, that image of that shirt.
Yeah.
You can send it to us. It's your image you're sending to me that I'm sending back to you for your service. So you can send me virtually any image that you want, and I can sublimation print that onto fabric and apply it to the hoodie as if that fabric were an old t-shirt. So really, the name Retroverse Limited has a few different meanings to it. Limited in the sense that my patches truly are limited. They're vintage, and when they're gone, they could be gone. Like, that's it. So you have a limited time for it. But we're limited on our production runs of shirts. We don't just make hundreds of thousands of them, so they're limited in that sense. But we're limited in a more positive sense in that we're only limited by our imagination. So we really can do virtually anything with these hoodies. It just takes, as I said, we actually just filmed a new commercial and an infomercial type thing last night. It will take communication. And in order for you to do that, I think most people would want that. If you really want what's in your head, we got to talk just a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of it. Not just David, a little bit, a lot of it.
David, have you been on the website? Have you seen the Eternal Cat t-shirt? That is the fucking coolest shirt, dude. That is so badass.
Yeah, I do. I like it.
That shirt, that's actually a Ken Coleman design. So if you're familiar, if you type in Ken Coleman and look, he's a UK-based graphic designer, artist, I should say.
Okay.
And it is spectacular. Okay, wait. You've probably seen it and not even know. That crazy-looking Castle Grayskull and then a Snake Mountain that just looks way overgrown with extra ladders and crazy. It looks like a sculpted masterpiece that would be a real thing.
Yeah.
If you ever come across that or something, and it typically is very eye-catching, that's Ken Coleman. He did that Eternal Cat and let Retroverse go and run with it. So we actually use a lot of our fan base to help get these graphic designs, and we compensate. So we don't just go, yeah, okay, thanks. It's truly a profit share system. So, you know, if you look at some place like a T Public, right? A T Public pays 20%. So basically, if they put a shirt on sale for $14, including shipping, you take $3 or $4 off for shipping, it's left with $10. And then it's left with the $2 goes to the designer of the shirt. That's a multi-million-dollar company. I'm little MOTU Joe. I pay the same thing for my designers. So, you know, granted, I don't have the footprint that a T Public does, but I'll pay out the same to my designers. So, you know, it's 20% on the net for whatever we do. So if we sell 1,000 shirts, you're going to get 20% of that. And then every custom shirt or every custom retro design custom that we do, like that are ours, that we own, we make in pins, hat pins as well. And our designers get a rev share of that as well. So we try to take care of all of everyone that's involved with this, because I know that I don't have all this. It's the Carnegie method, right? I know what needs to be done. I don't necessarily have the skill sets or want to do some of those things. So you're going to have to pay. And I do that.
When are you going to have more of those Eternal Cat shirts for pre-order? Or are you?
The pre-order is done, but they will be available for retail sale. Actually, the site should have clicked over already to retail sale, so that way people can buy them at a retail price. The difference between pre-sale and retail is a 21% savings. So when you go and you do the pre-sale, standard size, small through extra large, will be $17 shipped in the contiguous US. That's a really good affordable price for silkscreen custom design shirts. And in the pre-order phase, you have some abilities that you don't have in the retail phase, meaning you can say, hey, Joe, it says it's in black. I want it in red. Okay, I can do that for you. For example, the last shirt that we had, the MOTU Evolution shirt, during the pre-order, you got to choose 2 different designs. You could go with MOTU Evolution, or you could just go with Evolution. And then you got to also pick the different color shirts that you wanted. However, now that we're in retail phase for the MOTU Evolution, or for the Evolution shirt, it is just the Evolution logo, and it is just in black. So in the pre-order phase, we're custom and then limited. So I'll let the spill the beans. Brian Obman has the only red MOTU Evolution shirt out there because he wanted a red one. Everyone else is black, purple, or blue, but he's got a red one, and we can do that for you during the pre-order phase.
Wow.
That's fucking awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. So the next design,
hot take one.
Yeah, we'll get you covered. Eternal Cat, we'll get you covered. Like I said, that's it should have already been up there as available for purchase. And then that's where the price difference comes in. It just from going from $17, it only goes to $21.50. Again, that's shipped, $21.50 shipped. So I think when you look at like a retail store, like a Hot Topic, the base price is $19 or $24, depending on the shirt. So I'm still within the realm of retail, actually below in many cases, and it's the only place you can get these designs.
Oh, damn.
So I got one small plug. I'm sorry. The new design is coming out. We are on Instagram. You can always follow Retro Rags Limited on Instagram if you want. All of our Instagram followers will always get to see the newest design first. Instagram is where we post our newest images first. And in this particular case, it's been 5 days and I haven't even shared it with Facebook yet, what the newest design is, but the Instagram followers know.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'm going to follow you on my personal page right now and with the Masters of the Retroverse.
I'll follow it too.
This is not Joe Amato.
I know.
Don't be a dick, David.
I'm used to that.
Have a meat, dude. I'm sorry, man. Today's my birthday, so it's
not
like.
What? Is it really?
Yeah, I didn't get to do it at the start, but yes,
today's your birthday.
Hold on.
Fuck, man.
Today I am 242 years old.
204.
I'm handsome, right? For 242 years old?
What the
heck?
What
are you talking about here?
I'm a retired Marine, man. 242 years old today. November 10th.
Oh.
1775. I'm a Marine Corps.
Veterans Day. Okay. Veterans Day. Okay. All right.
Hello, buddy.
I was gonna say I didn't get a Facebook notification that it's your birthday, so it's not your birthday.
Yeah, that's Christmas Day. That's even better.
If it's not on Facebook, it's not true.
It's not true.
Right.
No.
It didn't happen.
It's got to be online, or that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Christmas Day is my birthday.
No.
Yeah, my son's just after Christmas, the 28th.
Oh yeah, man. He and I both hate life. It's all good.
No, he's still young though. He's like double presents. Woo! He hasn't figured out yet that halfway through the summer, man, this guy's a dry spell.
Right.
Dry spell, man. I was lucky to get my mom split the day. Like she's like, yeah, you were born at 1:12 in the afternoon. I got one present for my birthday.
Oh,
And nobody came to my birthday party because it was on Christmas Day.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Suck,
That
dude.
sucks.
It's so bad.
that's rough. I share mine with Mother's Day every few years. So
Yeah.
when I was a kid, that was a hard pill to swallow. Like, no, it's my day. It's not Mom's day. Can't have a day without mommy, jackass. I didn't figure that out till I was much older.
So Paul, the guy who's been in our chat talking, he's the guy that's made the stop motion on the chessboard, right? With what is it? Let me see here. Potential movie. Oh, I missed that. Hold on. He's the guy that did the He-Man and She-Ra chessboard, which he did stop motion video that we could see or whatever. So I believe that was in one of our groups, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'll have to take a look. I don't recall that.
He says he also has 2 potential movies for Masters of the Universe storyboarded, but Hollywood's too corrupt to talk to him.
Go to PowerCon.
Go to PowerCon.
There you go.
Solicit. Hey, just hit up random people on Facebook and ask them to be your friend, and talk to them in chat.
That's right.
What's up,
You got to. It's funny, man. Most everybody's here is cool. I haven't. You've got. I'll put the negative hat on for a second.
It's all good, man.
I don't think one time I've had negative shit and they retracted it. They apologized. So I don't think I've really had any shit in the MOTU communities in groups and world. Yeah. I've had a couple challenges with some G.I. Joe stuff, but I chalked that up to me not knowing it like I know G.I. Joe or like I know He-Man. So everything's been really good.
I think because you're in the MOTU world, right? You just know that like everybody in this world is just like so happy and they're like so educated on what's the right thing to do, because at the end of every show it's a PSA.
The PSAs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm actually.
Paul just said that Val banned him because he's friends with Joe Amato or something.
Oh man, no. We're gonna have Joe on the next show.
Yeah, he'll be on next.
Joe Amato's coming on our next show. I just talked to him. Did
you say Val is in Val Staples banned you? What I say? What happened?
Val banned him. Hold on. Yeah,
Val banned him, and it said Val banned Captain John Atkin before that.
From what group?
I don't know. What group is that?
Which group is that, Paul? Val is basically Hitler. Oh no, we joined. Well, this week, literally, I've joined. I want to say 8 MOTU groups. Like,
that's good.
So, yeah.
Like you said that. I was thinking about like this shit here. I forgot what it was, but you're talking original broadcasts. That's what made me think of it when you said that.
Yes. Oh my God. That was like the first freaking picture I saw, and I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
These are pretty freaking cool.
What is that? 8mm? What is that?
These are what are called Umatic beta.
Okay.
So this technically is a beta like we think of, but it's a 3/4 inch tape. And it is like a VHS tape. It's not like films. So it's a 3/4 inch. It's Umatic, and this is what they used in network TV stations. So these are this would have been a cart that would have been shipped to different stations. And then
that's amazing. Val says that he's the guy that owns He-Man.org and he runs.
Yeah, it's Val Staples. That's what I'm saying. I was curious. The Paul guy got banned, but banned from where? I met Val Staples.
He-Man.org or whatever. No.
He might have got banned from He-Man.org, I guess, because Val owns that. He bought that from the original creators quite a while ago, and I mean Val's quite well known throughout the He-Man community. He runs PowerCon. He also he was was he the story writer or the artist for the IGN or the Image comic series? I think he was involved with that. So I mean he's He's above my status level in the MOTU community.
He's above our pay grades.
Yeah. This is the other one that I got though that you guys might have liked.
Oh yeah.
These are the reel to reels. And the reason why I kept this one was because it still has the airmail from LAX.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Is there a date on there?
Yeah, it's 84.
Holy shit.
Hold on, wait. Let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, these are the 1-inch reel to reels. These are the Spanish ones. So they're dubbed in Spanish. They came out of the Pittsburgh TV group. And then they were from, this is pretty cool. This is from the traffic department in Mexico, from the TV station down there.
Wow. Oh my.
And then this is what they look like.
Dude, I'm telling you, Adam. Dude, I'm about to nerd out right now. I ain't even freaking.
Look at these.
David's about to jizz his
They're
pants.
dubbed in Spanish.
And then this is the cool. For me, this was the cool part. These are the actual transfer documents that are signed in Spanish from the.
Got somebody's coffee stain on it. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
33-year-old coffee stains. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. I love it.
It's cool, man. This is some of the fun stuff that we all love.
Damn.
See, I love that type of shit about anything collectibles. You know, any of the off the wall stuff, the not your standard stuff. You know, you see a lot of people with these amazing collections of, you know, they have every He-Man character known, but that's the type of stuff there that I absolutely love as a collector. You know, the oddball stuff. I met up with this guy on Instagram, and I'm hoping to have him on the show, but he's over in the UK. It's a little bit of a time difference there. But this guy collects MOTU stuff like you, but he doesn't. I mean, I'm sure he's got some of the figures, but he collects mostly like the non-figure stuff, and he's got some of that like some of the videotapes. Huh?
You talking Wayne? Wayne Scott?
Trying to think of what his name is. Let me.
Yeah, the dude that just opened up Battle Cat.
Yeah, it's Wayne Robert Scott.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he and I are really good friends. We talk. Well, lately because I've been too busy, we talk probably every other day or every third day.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, awesome. Well, tell him I'll make sure to tell him that we just had you on the show because I was trying to get him on too. But he's got some. That Battle Cat is just unbelievable.
His name's not Joe.
Unbelievable. No, his name's not Joe.
No, Wayne just actually got that. He just sourced it from Jacksonville, Florida, I think, and then he also helped get an attorney for somebody else over there too.
Yeah.
Actually, he and I have done a lot. I can't show you what I've got for him, but it's epic. I picked it up at PowerCon. I sent him a package. I forgot to put it in there, so it's going in his next package that I send to him. We do a lot of stuff together. He just recently found Power Tour France little wrist pocket wallets.
Okay, yeah.
So when in the US, when you went on the Power Tour like this, you would have got either little stick things with the foam things on top. You would have got either a plastic sword or a button. And overseas in France, they did a little wrist wallet, and it's literally like a fanny pack, but it just goes on your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
So he just found.
Yeah. It's like 2.5 inches wide, right?
Yeah. So one of those is coming my way, and we watch out for each other all the time. You know, as a matter of fact, he just sent the box to me today. And speaking of which, I'll show you guys something. Only Wayne, the admin from MOTU Evolution, the Facebook page that I'm a part of, and we do a lot on. The entire admin crew has seen this, but you guys can see it too. This is the first time. I was going to do an unboxing video tonight at some point, but you guys can see this as well. You like the obscure, the rare. No one else has seen it yet, so I'll show it to you really quick.
Really quick.
Hang on.
Oh,
wow. Oh my God.
This is an uncut.
That's an uncut card deck.
Yep.
The sticker cards.
The sticker.
Holy shit.
And check this out. They're all obviously still there. It's uncut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Puzzles, like however you get them and you put them together and you're like, I got all.
Man. Holy shit.
Yeah, and you got the little marks, all across the paper on the top to show the cut lines where they drop the big blade. And yep. And
That's
then,
amazing, dude. Where did you find that?
I was gonna say that's the next question people ask. eBay.
Really?
eBay. It's crazy. I know.
And that good a shape. Holy shit.
Yeah, those reel-to-reels I showed you, those cassettes I showed you, eBay. Just random. I'm telling you, it is just bizarre, random searches. And I will say this: the MOTU community and doing these type of things like you guys are doing now, and like what I do with the videos, and like the MOTU Evolution group does, they kind of watch out. They kind of know who's what they want, and there are people seriously sending toys and other things to other people just because they know they like Mossman, or just because they know they like this.
Yep.
And
kind of like a Modulock, right, David?
Oh, I fucking love Modulock.
Which Paul is it? Is it Paul Svard? Is that who was messaging you guys by chance? Does it say his last name?
It says Paul S. Paul
It is.
S.
I think that's him. And
I watching the cast right now. So he's actually asking us if we know John Adkin. I don't know a John Adkin. We're new to all the groups.
Yeah.
So. Okay. The Paul that I'm thinking of, again, because he knew that I loved all the merch, he set me up with this.
It's Paul Leonard's. Leonard's, I said it right?
Wow.
Leonard's,
Paul
okay.
Linz, yeah.
Different Paul. But my point is that I've been looking for this.
Wow.
This is
yeah.
That's badass.
I want to have
this is one of the hardest freaking cosplay sets to find, and he's just like, hey, this guy has it. He likes Marvel stuff, this, that, and other thing. He just said, here, call the guy, message him, and
hit that dude in the chest to see if his armor
great.
changes.
That's
Hit
so
that
cool.
dude. Hit that dude in the chest to see if his armor changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dude in the chest is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me cry because it's gonna break the armor.
It's got like 3 settings, man.
So I gotta ask, where do you typically find all your stuff? Is it just eBay?
A lot of stuff will come from the group now because of what I'm looking for is getting harder and harder to find. So people will give kind of point or say, hey, so and so has this. The groups really are a big resource on Facebook to ask, and just simply post the question. I'm looking for Wonder Bread He-Man. PM me if you're interested. And if it's a big enough group, someone will, because you know what? Someone will be sitting there that's got one that'll be like, I really don't want to sell it, but I could use $500. And then I don't want to pay $500, but someone will send you a message. If you say I want a Wonder Bread, within a day or two, typically you'll get a response from somebody.
Oh, that's what we're talking about now. I apologize, man. I did want to talk about Wondar. That's what we're talking about, right? Yeah. You said Wait, what are we talking about? Sorry, I was on the live chat.
Yeah, I was just using Wonder Bread as an example of if you're looking for something. But save eBay searches are good too. I mean, there are a lot of terms like back here that you just wouldn't think of.
Dude, your collection like has blown my mind. Like I know like with my collection, like it's like what I had when I was a kid. Because I had
your kid stuff.
No. It's not. This is a revival, like what I told you in the deal. Like all of my stuff, like I can't even remember what happened to it. To be honest with you, I can't even remember. Like I don't know if it was thrown away or what. Like me and my mom were talking the other day, and I told her, I was like, man, I really wish I had like for some reason I thought Beastman at one point. Like I know, and I'm completely out of my fucking gourd saying this, but I thought Beastman was almost like Mossman at one point, but I've tried to like search for it, and he's not. He's not like maybe that's just something in my brain. Comparing,
they are the same figure,
huh?
They are the same figure. Just one's red, one's green.
Yeah. And if you go back and watch some of our earlier episodes, I talk about how the '80s are racist with Mossman, but we won't get into that.
Yeah. Yeah, most of my stuff is from my childhood, except for the Castle Grayskull, because I don't know what happened to it. I think it's probably still in a box in my dad's basement. But this one here, man, I'm gonna have to get with the group because I need to find the bottom half of this. I need to find this.
What is that?
Yeah, that right there. I need it. Right here. Here, just plug it in.
It's like, hey, it's like he saw your shit behind you, and he's like, "There's no way the rest of the staff's with that. I'm gonna have that right at my feet."
I know, dude. I know.
You know, like you need the bottom. You need the bottom of the staff.
Yeah.
I need the horns. You're actually missing 2 of them.
What?
I'm missing 2. Oh yeah, right here, here and here.
Yeah. There's bottom ones that are longer than the top ones that stick out.
No shit. Yeah, I don't remember
Mine
that.
still works.
Mine does too. If I turn it on.
I'm freaking jealous of you guys right now.
Yeah, my batteries are dead though.
Damn.
It does work though.
What the hell? I didn't even know they made that beat.
And I used to have the He-Man Power Sword too. That went with this one.
What was it? I'm sorry.
It was the He-Man Power Sword that went with this one. Not like his regular sword, but it had the. Yeah,
he's gonna pull it up.
Yeah,
No,
that one.
I don't have. You know why?
He's the shit out of us right there. Damn.
You know why?
Why?
I don't have that one because it's from the 2000. It's from the New Adventures line. I only have this.
No, this one was from the 80s.
I know, but this is from the New Adventures of He-Man line.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, this isn't a vintage Skeletor staff. This is from the New Adventures line when they were up in space.
From what? Well, that one there is from when I was a kid, though.
You're correct, but it would have been late 80s.
Late 80s. Okay.
Correct.
I was thinking New Adventures. I'm not familiar with the New Adventures.
Yeah, that's the. I only have this.
When Saturday morning cartoons fell off the face
It's
of the
this logo, He-Man.
Oh yeah. The sword had that on there. I remember that.
Right.
Yep.
So the sword you're looking at is black-handled square with the yellow sword that came out the top.
It was gold handled. Yeah, it was squared off, and it had the yellow yellow blade on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Gold based. Yep. That's a cool one. I've got this is the one. This is our favorite one now. This is from the 2000X. This is from the 2000X line. This is by far, I think, the best one they've ever put out.
Holy crap! Wow.
Freaking awesome.
It's got a lightning bolt. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's badass.
The power. Do you ever just say that like in your room?
Oh yeah,
like no,
all the time. He just walks around the house waving it around.
We were walking. My son was in here doing when I first got this, and we were sitting totally just fake fighting. You know, like that's fun. You got to get the timing right though. Yeah, there you go. It's fun. I like it.
That's so cool. So is your son into collecting too?
He's into certain things collecting. He really loves Dragon Ball Z right now.
Okay.
But he also does love He-Man. He's got a few toys. He asks all the time, and I don't mind if he spends a couple of dollars. And I have so many spare parts that if he just asks, I have no problem hooking him up and doing something like that. He just forgets to ask, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, he loves it. He's got a lot more Star Wars than He-Man at this point, and Legos. Holy shit, Legos! Tons of Legos.
Yeah, that's mine.
So Adam only replies via chat to that comment. Like, who doesn't love Legos? But Paul's lighting up the chat, man. He's got some good things going on in there. Need to go check out the chat.
Yeah, Joe, if you ever, yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, YouTube Masters of the Retroverse, and then just live chat. You should be able to see it. That way you can answer his questions too, because he talks.
If you ever make it out to St. Louis, man, you got to come by. We got we have a toy show like every couple months here, and it is absolutely amazing, man. Like the shit that you find. I mean, it's basically like a flea market, but it's all vintage toys and comic books and stuff. And I mean, I come across some great deals, dude. This Castle Grayskull that I got here behind me is complete with everything in it. I paid. I think I paid $50 for it.
What?
I mean,
Really?
it's just the deals that you come across. I was showing this to David earlier. This lunchbox that I got here. It's got the thermos cap and everything in it. I think I paid like $10 for it. I mean,
that's the Land Shark one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That's the better metal one. Mine, you can't see mine there. Oh, maybe you can. They're down there.
Oh yeah, I was looking at those earlier.
That
one looks like it's in a little better shape than mine is.
They made a lot of those damn lunch boxes, man.
They did. Yeah.
There's 2 metal ones, 2 blue ones. There's a light blue Mexican one, an orange Mexican one, a yellow UK one, and then there's the bags too. There are sorry, the wife's looking. Just a few minutes. Sorry, there's a birthday party. They want to come downstairs and start their party.
Okay.
Just have them come on down, Crystal. Just have them come down.
Well, that's cool. We can start wrapping it up, man. Because I know we can go on all night about this.
Good, but sorry, I forgot where I was at.
Talking about the different destinations.
Yeah, the soft bags. Those are so expensive because they rotted, they got mildewy, they cracked, and I mean they'll go for more than the hard metal ones. It's crazy.
Wow, really, man.
Yeah,
and you got so much like I don't even know if like I collect, like I was trying to say earlier, I collected the toys. I've been collecting the toys, but I haven't even gotten into the stuff that like you collect. Like,
there's some, and again, and it's not I hope it's not perceived as arrogant. I know I have a lot of stuff. I love it. It's a really good. It's a passion, and I'm aware it's a lot.
No, I want to have a lot too.
It's like martial arts, though, right? Because we didn't get into that, but I have a passion for martial arts as well, and there is always somebody better. And in my mind, while this is fantastic, this is great. He'll probably see this at some point. I'm chasing Brian Oldman because he has more than I do of this type of stuff. He's got a couple of the Grail pieces that I don't have, like the bouncing battle cat. I think he's even got the other toy box with the sliding top little storage compartment in it, which I don't have. I mean, it's amazing. I have some things that he doesn't have, but again, like you're looking at all this type of stuff. His stuff is actually in gun store glass cases. Like it's like an old gun store went out of business, and there are bulletproof gun cabinets with glass light up things that his shit is in.
That's hardcore. Yeah, that's hardcore right there.
Yeah. So, and then, oh my gosh, there is a guy in, is it Germany? I think it's Germany. His name is Tor. It's awesome. It's like a T-O with the umlauts, R-R. Oh my God. This guy wound up getting the museum where he lived, wound up going through renovation. So he wound up getting the old museum display cases, and he got all of them, and he has all of the toys in sealed box, perfectly stacked and lining all around it. And then inside of these amazing lit up displays, he has the loose vehicles, the resin statue models, the 1-to-1 scale Skeletor and He-Man. It is literally like looking at a museum. That's how amazing his collection is. So there are so many people out there. And then when you actually, when you see the documentary, you're going to see the one I mentioned earlier. You're going to see some people that make what I've just described between Brian, myself, and these others. I don't even know who these people are. And they're who like Mattel and the people that were making these films went to. So yeah, I got to get to know them. You know what I mean? They've got the foam castles that were inside of like J.C. Penney's and stuff like that at their homes. That's where they're at. You know, it's
level collectors.
Wow. It's awesome.
Damn.
Actually, one of our other buddies just down, and it's a small world, 45 minutes south of me is another guy you guys should think of have on at some point. His name is Justice Curry. He's a very, 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 very big toy junkie. If if plastic could actually be heroin, that would be his drug.
Yes. Yes.
Like everything, and he's 45 minutes away from me, just south.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I collect a little bit of everything. I've got, as you can see, I got Transformers, and I collect my main focus right now is I'm collecting the old Toy Biz X-Men guys, and I've got, because I'm trying to get all the ones that I had as a kid, which I've got still. I've got the loose figures, but I'm trying to get all those in box, and I'm just amazed at all the stuff that I'm coming across. I have an Iceman and a Wolverine that are the Canadian version, which is missing some of the art. It's like the same orange to blue packaging,
right?
But it just says X-Men on it, and it's like missing a lot of the words. I mean, it's completely different. It's really cool. Like, so just some of the variants and stuff that you come across, you know.
Yeah. Since we've transferred a little bit into that, I might just show you what I got. You ready?
Oh yeah, you had a little surprise for me.
Oh yeah, you ready for this surprise?
All right.
Here it comes. It's
no
coming
dick pics
below the screen. It's coming up. Boom. Weapon friggin'.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Marvel
wow.
Legends too. Deadpool. Hell yeah. Oh my God, he's got a chimichanga in his hand.
Yeah, you got chimichanga. You get like 4 different hands and all that crap.
Is that a mild face? Half face?
Yeah, half face, full face.
Oh wow.
Full facial.
My
Half
name's
facial.
Deadpool, I approve.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's the Weapon X version.
Nice. That's badass, dude. Where'd you find that?
GameStop.
GameStop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
GameStop's got some good stuff, man.
Yeah.
They got the Masters line when Maddie decided to blow it out.
Yeah.
They don't have it here, but yeah, I've seen it online because they're connected to that Think Geek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's same owner or whatever, so you get the good stuff.
Joe, the last episode or a couple episodes ago, we were talking about the Toys R Us going out of business. What's your thought on that? Like, they're closing down all the stores supposedly after the first of the year.
It's you know, now you got me thinking, you know, my real job. It's kind of sad, but it's the reality of the market. We're in an on-demand society, and for the most part, if I can't get what I don't agree with this mentality 100%, but for the most part, if you can't get what I can't get what I want within an hour, I can find what I want. So I the Amazons, the
Amazon, yep. That's exactly that's exactly what we were talking about. You know,
unless it's an NES Mini or a Super.
Right, yeah. But I think the online stores, if you don't have a good online presence, then you're done.
It's tough. There's a local toy company here that is doing phenomenally well. They're an online based company, but they did just open a retail store. It's Gigantic Deals. They do a lot of toys, a lot, but they do other things too. But I mean, they opened a retail store, and a lot of what that retail store is for is specifically for like Magic the Gathering cards, and they're a big enough company to where they got the alternative or the variant of Goku flying on the Nimbus. You know how Vinyl Pops will do variants for certain vendors. They're a big enough vendor that they got their own variant of a very big line like Dragon Ball, and they're here in Grand Rapids. But I think it's sad to some degree. What we grew up with doing, the nostalgia of going into the toy store, knowing that I have $5 in my pocket, or will mom let me spend 10, or what can I do, and shop up and down and not know what to expect when you go there. That's gone. It's I can look on my phone, I can search it now. There are certain things that we all had that won't be there. But the same thoughts that we're having, our parents had about certain things. Our kids will say about what we're saying right now about certain things. There's a certain nostalgia erosion that takes place generation to generation. And for me, the first time I experienced that was the newspaper's demise. You know, I studied advertising and marketing. That's what I went to school for. It was sad for me to watch what our entire country, literally news, everything, the soapbox speech was built on these printing presses are obsolete. They're gone. It took 100 years, but they're
Mhm.
gone. You know, or they're going more and more. Same with the retail store model. That's again, I'd love to have retro rags in a store. When I get to the next level, I can see pop-up locations for holidays and different things. I've even thought about how could I actually be a retail location, but ultimately, it's a huge cost, expense, overhead when I'm doing what Amazon's doing without having to do it. So the demand for a local retail toy store is waning, and it's not surprising. But I'm disheartened by it. But I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
It's sad, yeah, and it's really nice to hear from somebody in marketing and advertising, that kind of just confirms what we had, the idea that I had, because I'm clueless when it comes to that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, online presence is everything, and that's you look at Target, you look at Walmart, you look at Amazon. I mean, majority of their stuff is online, and Walmart and Target is in store, but you have a lot of the mix of the online,
Right.
with like the Target cartwheel and all that stuff,
Correct. If they didn't start doing that stuff, I mean, I don't know where I'm in Michigan, and one of the big retail stores in Michigan is Meijer. They're the equivalent of a Walmart, except Grand Rapids, Michigan based, and now they're throughout the Midwest. They're a huge entity. But oh shit, where's I going to go with that whole thing? Oh, Meijer, and the food delivery. Sorry, they offer what they call shipped, which is I don't have to leave my house. I can order whatever I want grocery wise. It comes to my door. So it's the equivalent of Amazon doing what I want to get for my office supplies or my t-shirt or my pair of boots or whatever from Amazon, or hell, even a grill. They're doing the same thing for food delivery, which isn't a new concept. It's newer, but now one of the biggest local food retail giants is doing that. And it costs, the math is there. It's not free. You basically pay a small monthly small fee. I think it's $10 a month. And then roughly you are paying about 11 to 12% more for the convenience of them picking your food and not going to wait in line. So if you were used to spending $100 to get your weekly groceries, you're going to spend about 115 to 120. But now you don't have to go stand in line.
Right.
It automatically comes to your house.
Well, yeah, there's also a thing called Uber Food.
Yeah.
Really? There's Uber Food?
Yeah, they'll deliver food
Uber
now.
Food. You
And it's supposed to be cheap. It's supposed to be like $3 or something like that, and they'll go and get you McDonald's and bring it to you.
No.
Yeah, one of the local stores, grocery stores here, started doing the food delivery thing too, and it's fairly inexpensive. I think it's like $5. It's $5, and they'll deliver your groceries to you and whatever.
Yeah, within a certain radius of that store. So
right. They got radius.
The same thing. Lowe's Foods delivers. They're literally only 2 blocks, or not even 2 blocks, like 3. Not even 2 blocks, but then I say 3. So yeah, like 3 blocks away from me. But yeah, it's just it's crazy the way that the society has just been pushed towards getting online and getting what you want or what you need. And like, if you want to be in, marketing or advertising, you have to know your shit when it comes to the internet and how to put, you need to be knee deep in analytics and be able to hashtag the shit out of anything and put what you want in to get it out there and to get your feed to go wherever it needs to go for people to see it. You need to know that type of atmosphere.
Yeah. And it's not, and no one person knows it all. There's always somebody is always coming up with a new way to, I don't like the term manipulate, but massage the systems to get better results. And
dark.
It's
a dark web is not just for porn, people. It's for everything.
It's you can get a lot. You can find anything there. But it's a lot of work. It really is. It's not necessarily hard. It's incredibly time consuming, and it doesn't happen overnight. You can pay to have overnight success, but no one wants to pay to have that. You want to have 100,000 followers? No problem. Give me 10 grand, done. Easy, overnight. But Do you really want to spend 10 grand and pay a marketer and somebody, a firm? I'm just using that as an example, making that number up. But it literally, I mean, you can buy whatever the hell you want follower wise. Look, you can pay for organic growth too. But even that still takes a few months.
My organic growth, not to get off like subject to being on Masters or anything, but I posted videos on Do Anything's Facebook page and all that stuff. And my organic growth actually outgrew my paid growth, but my paid growth was still 1,700, and like total views on a video, it was like 3,500, I think it was. But I had paid, and the paid ones showed up first, but the paid ones made it so other people shared it and built my organic growth from sharing.
Right. Oh yeah, it's so again, weird numbers, right? Without going too into it, my Slimed Ghost Brothers shirt on Retro Rags.
Okay.
I don't really have a following. I have no real affinity. MOTU Joe doesn't have a following in Ghostbusters or Nintendo. I like them, but they don't know who I am. So if I say buy this He-Man shirt, there's a little bit of bias maybe because of MOTU Joe and there's a little following, but that's just a sliver still, right? The Slimed Ghost Brothers had the most amount of likes, traffic, shares by complete strangers, people I didn't know, yet it was the slowest, the least amount sold shirt to date. So again, this is what I do for a living sometimes, and the numbers just don't compute. So you can pull your hair out. It just goes back to what I learned very early on, is that there is no perfect marketing solution. There is only better and worse. Everything falls somewhere in between that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well put. Well said.
That's crazy. So just to answer a question for Paul, because he was asking a little bit ago about, he asks all podcasters if they were to build a chessboard, how would they build it? So, or how would they make the players? So using just the He-Man line and not the She-Ra line, Paul, my first two go-to are going to be, Adam's mom and dad, obviously, for the King and Queen. I'm going to stick with the classics. And then for my rooks or my knights or whatever like that, I'm going to use Tila, and I'm going to use the Man-at-Arms because they're both those type of people. And then everybody else will just fall in line. There's really no place for He-Man in this deal, so we're just going to make Adam a pawn, and then he just turns into this magical shit and fucking kills everybody and takes the king.
So there you go.
I hope I answered your question for you there, Paul.
Well said, my friend.
That's good.
Orko's the mage, just saying.
Yeah.
Well, wait, you could have him turn. You could have He-Man, right? Once your pawn makes it to the other side, right? He becomes He-Man.
But who's to say it? Well, yeah, that would make it a very dark version of He-Man, because I'm pretty sure most of my pawns never make it.
You sacrifice your pawns to make it work. But if you get that pawn across, you got yourself another queen. Let's go kill
right.
Yeah.
Paul's a good answer.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Another queen.
Wouldn't that be Prince Adam?
If I had that stream key, that stream deck right now, I would pull up that GIF of Prince Adam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I think on that note, let's call this a wrap.
Good answer.
Cool.
Answer.
I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. It's fun to talk. I appreciate the love for Retro Rags and obviously the He-Man and Masters of the Universe love that we all share. So
yeah, and we'll definitely share through our page. We'll share some of your Retro Rag stuff too on your Facebook page.
Yeah,
and
man.
we'll just
show
promote you, because you're an awesome guy, man. We loved having you on. You're a wealth of knowledge. And I'm hoping we can get back together again sometime soon and talk some more, because I'm sure you've probably got a lot more to talk about.
Oh, there's always fun stuff. And can I do a little plug for tomorrow morning?
Absolutely. Go for it.
So tomorrow morning, for those of you that are up, a lot of us do have kids. Every Saturday morning, with very few exception, between 8:30 and 8:45, we go and we do what we call the Saturday morning serial. So I do kind of like what we do now. I use the OBA software, and I will stream a random cartoon from typically it's going to be from the 80s, stuff that we grew up with. And we go live. It's on Facebook through our Facebook page on Retro Regs Limited. It'll be split screen with the cartoon playing, me in one corner. I bust out a bowl of cereal and we watch cartoons just like it was Saturday morning and talk, reminisce. Yeah. So
love it, man.
Anyone wants to tune in tomorrow, it's set for 8:45 a.m. And the episodes that we show are always a surprise. And I know what this one's going to be because it was requested. So we'll tune in tomorrow if you wish at 8:45 in the morning. Retro Regs Limited's Facebook page.
Is that?
I love that, man. I love
so
that.
It's the same time.
Yes, 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that appeases. It won't do very well for the Central and Western Coast or West Coast.
No, I'm up. I'm usually up by 7:30 anyway. So yeah,
but
I'll be there.
it'll accommodate some of the Euro folks as well.
Okay.
So
that's so cool. I love that you do that, man. That is just awesome.
And when I can't go live, we'll pre-record an episode. And normally if I pre-record an episode, since there's no live conversation, I have somebody join me. So it's at least one other person and we'll talk while the episode plays and have some banter.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, yeah, everybody go find their Facebook page, Retro Regs Limited. Go check out the website. The stuff that he's got on there. I've been just perusing the whole website while we've been talking, and it's awesome. I love the patches.
Yeah.
I love the shirts, the hats, everything. Definitely got to get me one of those hats too. The stretch fit. Love it.
This guy?
Yeah, one of those for sure.
This is the Flex Fit Beast Man. Red on red.
Where I saw that you had, I saw one of the options on the hats was Thundercat patch, but I didn't see the I didn't see the patches though.
It's Lino.
Is it? Okay.
It's Lino with his sword like this, kind of at a stance, and it says Thundercats.
Oh, that's badass.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you not? Is the patch? Did you not see the patch in the patches category?
No, it wasn't in there. Let me look again here.
Thank you for pointing that out. Is it not in the
Battle Beast, Care Bears, Disney, G.I. Joe, Mad Balls?
Scroll down.
No, single patches. Single patch. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. Yeah. You got Silverhawks and you got Thundercats. That Thundercat's awesome.
Yeah.
You have Thunderbirds or Go? No, it's the 60s, but you know.
No, I don't have that. I do have a Smurf-along for you.
A what?
Smurf-along. You know, like la 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 Smurf-along.
Yeah, I see that one. That's cool. Dude, I think I actually used to have that patch at one point.
I'm telling you, so these patches were used a lot. That hat company that went defunct obviously made a lot of other things and made a lot of different products for different brands. So there's some cool stuff that's out there. There's even a few things that I haven't yet acquired that I'll add in the future. But the Battle Beasts, to the best of our knowledge, that's about the last of the supply. The guy that I get them from doesn't have any left. The few that you may find on eBay are pretty pricey, and I've got the last of the supply of those Battle Beasts from what I understand.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it'd be cool, guys. I really appreciate you having me on again. This has been cool, and I'll happily come on. You know, with the time affords it, and you guys will have me, and we'll talk anytime.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, I love it. Great.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. YouTubers, make sure you check out some of our other videos, past episodes. Don't forget that subscribe, so that way when we do go live on nights like tonight, you can join in on the chat like Paul did. Thanks, Paul, and everybody else that joined chat. Check out our Facebook pages. Just go to Masters of the Retroverse. You'll find us. We're also on Instagram, same name, Masters of the Retroverse. You'll find us. Gamer tags. You can find me on Xbox as usual. XBadWolf79X, and David is Turmoil.
Turmoil. TERMOIL, because the real turmoil was taken.
Yep. 77. Yeah.
Yeah, Bad Wolf 79, right? That was you, right?
Yeah, that's me. Yep.
Yeah,
that's me.
Just got it. Just followed you.
Sweet.
And I am Turmoil, the wrong way of spelling it. Spelling it like it sounds 77.
Well, he's talking on Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
I'm Bad Wolf 79 on Instagram too.
My Instagram not even anything to do with this, but if you want to follow me, you can do anything.
Haven't been playing a whole lot of Xbox since I've been playing. They got the old Mario Odyssey.
Oh, you like the Switch?
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Oh man, he geeked out about the Switch when it came out, man.
I pre-ordered, dude. I drove in, was it back in February when the pre-order started? I drove in ice for like 3 miles to go pre-order this thing because I had to have it. And pre-ordered the Odyssey too when I pre-ordered the Switch.
And he's been waiting how many months for that?
Yeah.
Well, I saw your Power Glove in the background almost immediately, man. That I still have, like I said, I still have my Nintendo, but I sold some of my video game systems. I've collected a lot of the video game systems. I had a ton. I mean, a ton. Very few systems I did not have, and
Nice.
I kept my Power Glove.
This was mine too when I was a kid. And I still got the sensors that go on the TV. I mean, it's complete.
I love the Donkey Kong, the little mini systems. Those are sweet.
Yeah, I got this one, Donkey Kong Jr., and I picked up actually some. No kidding, I'm not even gonna lie right now. We weren't gonna do this, but give me a second here. I picked up. They have a new line that came to. Let me move my mic back. It came to Walmart for the Christmas season, and they redid them, so it's color now instead of the chroma color or whatever it was. So like everything's like Pac-Man is green or yellow. All the lines around it are blue, all the little dots, and then the corner dots are the gold color or the white color. They have, 9 of them? Asteroids, Frogger, all of them, dude. All of the big name old stand-up.
I love it.
Nice.
Love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
And obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can definitely check out our podcast. The audio version will be on iTunes and Google Play, so you can download that and listen while you're driving to work or what have you. Yeah. So thanks everybody for coming. Joe, again, thanks for coming on, hanging out, and we'll get back with you soon, I hope.
Yeah, let me know when if you guys have any interest. We'll touch base offline. We'll see what we can do to get you covered with Retro too.
Cool.
Sweet.
Sounds good, man.
Take it
All
easy.
right. We'll see everybody next week.
Yep.
All right.